I am live and in color, guys. Thank you guys for joining the show. I'm Anthony Glenn. I'm a buy and hold investor out of sunny Southern California, real estate broker, real estate investor. And today we got a dope show, man. I'm super excited to have you guys here. Shout out to everybody who checks in and rocks out with us. We got a hot show today. We're going to be talking about the top 10 things that you guys need to know about real estate investing. So if you're on the show today, welcome to the show, man. All right. How's everybody doing, man? I'm super excited to have everybody here. Otis, I went on and broke down, man, and I went on and paid for Spotify, dog. I went on and paid for it, Otis. I paid for it, Otis. Otis, man, come up, dog. I paid for the show. I paid for a Spotify, so now I can play music. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Anthony Glenn. Otis, come on up. If you got an opportunity to come up, I'm gonna invite you up on the show so you can rock out with us. Okay, guys, we got a special show today. I can hear you, Ian. If you can go ahead and mute up. I think your mic is off. Okay. All right, fantastic, guys. I'm super excited to have you guys on the show today, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Where you guys checking in from? What's up, Otis? What's happening, dog? You know what I'm saying?
Would they hit you with an extra $6 a month?
I know, man. Hey, dog, I am cheap as hell. I'm cheap, man. I don't like paying. I don't know what it is about subscriptions, man. I just don't like them, man. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys like subscriptions. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't like subscriptions, man. I hate subscriptions. I don't know what it is, man. I don't like them, man. And you know what? People be like, dog, you got to stop being so damn cheap. But I don't like subscriptions. What's happening, Otis? What you working on today, man? Tell us who you are and what you working on today.
I think it's the principle for you. I don't think it's the actual subscription. I think all my rich friends are what other people would call cheap, but y'all rich, like richer than me. I got all the subscriptions. I got stuff that I'm like, oh, I should buy this. Oops, already have it. I run into that all the time. So I think it's just a principle, but that's a good learning point too. That it's not, sometimes it's the act of managing your money that shows up in not just the big stuff, but in the little stuff too. And how you manage the small stuff is a reflection of how you manage the big stuff. So I give you a hard time about it because I'm jealous because you got orange orchards and I got to walk up to the grocery store to get some Simply Freaking Orange. But no, that's right on, man. You rubbing off on me, man, because I'm trying to get that same way. But yeah, man, I'm not working on anything today other than working out. It was my daughter's first day of school, and so I did that thing. So I came home and, I've got some marketing stuff I'm going to do and some real estate investing tips that I'm putting together for folks that I'm going to start putting out there. And, I'm going to send my daily complaint letter to TikTok for not verifying my age. I guess I look young. They don't believe me. They don't believe how old I am. They've been verifying it for 2 months, but we'll see what happens.
Yep. And you know what, man? I'm going to tell you this, man. Look, check this out. I feel like we're going to have a good show today right now because right now I already got 60 people here on the live across all social media platforms. We've only been live for 3.5 minutes. So guys, we got a hot show today, guys. Let me tell you what we talked about. If you guys missed yesterday, we talked about the 4 data points. I always go send a shout out to Otis. We're going to go over that. And today we're going to be talking about 10 essential tips that you need in order to become a real estate investor. And I'm going to be utilizing my my co-hosts, Otis James and Ian Jensen, that's on the show. Okay. And guys, we got a hot show for you guys today. And then here's the deal, man. Look, yesterday, let me recap what we talked about. Okay. So we did the 4 data points. Number 1, we went through underwriting the property. We went through doing a joint VA loan yesterday. We went through the 401k and how people are going to run out of money. We talked about a bunch of stuff yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's show, shame on you. Okay. But guess what? Today we're going to have another hot show and we're happy to be here. I am live, just so you guys know. If you see me looking around, I'm not on crack. I just want to let y'all know. Okay. I have 3 screens open right now and we are currently live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff going on, but guys, the reason why we're doing this and we come on the show each and every day specifically is because we are on an intimate pursuit to make sure that we make more real estate investors, and we got to show you why it is important to do this. So if you're looking to become a real estate investor, put a 1 in the chat right now. If you're on the show and you're ready to go, put a 1 in the chat because we got a hot show today. And I'm going to start with introducing Ian Jensen, and then I'm going to go after Ian Jensen. We're going to jump right into it, guys. So if you guys are excited in the show, excited to get the show started, put a 1 in the chat, guys, because we got a lot of hot stuff that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so put a 1 in the chat if you guys are ready for us to kick it like a sensei and kick some good information so you guys could learn how to win in real estate. And congratulations to y'all badass kids going back to school. Little Johnny, you about to go get an F in school. Okay, y'all got them all decked out in the fresh Jordans and all of that stuff. But hey, man, we ain't gonna hold you, man. But Ian, can you let the people know who you are and what you do real quick, brother?
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Ian Jensen. I'm a real estate investor, real estate agent down here in SoCal. Work alongside Anthony and Otis here, crushing it out here, teaching everybody everything we got so that we could help them start their real estate investment journey. I personally went through Otis's class, so if you haven't had a chance to check that out, make sure you do. Give him a follow. It's exactly the formula I used to pick up 7 of my real estate properties. So thank you very much to everybody who's here. And hey, listen up, everybody, because I literally went from a big old dork to somebody who's doing much better just because I'm listening to both of these guys on stage. So listen up, bring your gear, bring your note-taking gear and take it to heart. And then most importantly, put the shit to work because it's not this.
Oh, he muted himself.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you all very much. Let's go to it.
Okay, and guys, do me a favor, guys. Put a follow Ian, give Ian a follow, because right now he's actually sitting here. He's actually here with me. He's gonna be making some phone calls. We just launched our 10X Military Spouse program with Elena Cardone. Okay, and then we're gonna be teaching military spouses how to invest in real estate and how to build a business and get government grants, guys. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and I want to give a special shout out to Miss Jones. Listen, this lady has been looking out for my family for some time, so she's always showing support. We're trying to get her to join us, man, but she's doing her thing. She's out here in California, so make sure that you give her a follow as well. So Otis, let's jump right into it. So here's the deal, guys. The very first thing I'm going to start with, guys, is down at the bottom in TikTok. Here's the rules of engagement. Okay, so if you're on our live right now and you're on TikTok, guys, the rules of engagement is for every 5 shares you give us and every 1,000 likes, we're going to unlock another real estate investment thing. I'm going to start with this. Otis, what is the very first thing that you would do? Can you go over the 4 data points, and then let's go step by step on how we would navigate going through utilizing the 4 data points and the acronym STUD, okay, to buy our first property. So let's get right into it. So let's just say that I'm an investor. I'm looking to invest in real estate. I know that you always say education. What type of education should I be looking for to invest in real estate? What should I be doing? Go ahead and jump in.
Well, first, the reason I say education is because, jumping into real estate investing is like jumping into
we can hear you still.
Paused. I see it. The creator will be back soon. All right. I don't know if folks can hear me or not, but I'll let Anthony.
We still can hear you when I'm off camera, but go ahead. I can hear you still.
All right. So there's a lot of different ways to make money in real estate investing. So some people come in and they want to do flips. Some people want to do long-term holds. Some people want to buy and sell debt. Some people want to do short-term rentals. Some people want to. There's all types of things you can do. So to jump into real estate investing, first you need to establish what your investing criteria is. In order for you to do that, you need to understand what all the possibilities are. Me, for example, I like to take a bit of money, right? It's whatever the number is, use that money to acquire a piece of real estate, make that piece of real estate worth more than I bought it for, get the money by leveraging debt, get the money back out of it, but keep the real estate and have the real estate cash flowing in perpetuity, and then take that same money and use it over and over and over again. So I'm recycling the same funds and leaving a trail of cash flowing assets in my wake until I develop enough cash flow to tap out at whatever lifestyle I want to tap out at. So the reason why I always say education is because if you don't know how to invest in real estate and you have $10,000, it's only going to take you so far. You're really approaching real estate investing as a consumer. Well, there's a house, I can fix it up. Let me put a down payment down. That's not the way real estate investors think. So first you have to be able to determine if a property is worth investing in the first place. And when I'm coaching people through the learning process, I put a system in place so that it forces them to do enough due diligence to uncover things they wouldn't have known to ask about. So they're mapping it out with the 4 data points, and that's the foundation of real estate. 4 data points is 4 questions. What does it cost? What does it cost to fix up? What's it going to be worth when I'm done? How much income can it generate? And once you understand those, then it's going to tell you a lot of other things that you may have not considered. For example, if data point number 1, which is what does it cost, and data point number 3, what's it going to be worth when I'm done, if those numbers are too close together, that tells you right now that you are going to leave money tied up in that deal, which may not be a bad thing, but doesn't generate enough income to warrant leaving your money in that deal. So it's basically 4 questions that force you to examine whatever it is you're looking at to determine whether or not it's worth putting an offer in. That's it.
And guys, as you guys and as we get started, Ian, let me see, maybe Ian, man. Okay, so as we get started, guys, this is very important. Okay, so the the number one thing that I want everybody to put this in the chat. I want you guys to put a number 1 and put education. That's the first tip. Okay, the first tip that you guys, we're going through the top 10 tips that getting started in real estate that you guys could go. We're going to go through all of these guys. So put a 1 in the chat if you guys got a pen, because this is what a lot of people are doing. They're getting into real estate. They're buying a piece of property and they don't even know how to find a property manager. So now that's going to delay you, right? So, or they're buying properties and then they get a contractor and they don't know what type of administrative paperwork that they need. Or they're getting property and they buy a property and then they don't know that there's additional fees and stuff that takes to buy the piece of real estate. So all of these things are important. So the very first tip is going to be education. Okay. Education. Everybody put that in the chat. When you get into real estate, before you spend any money, you need to write a plan and know the plan, because that plan is going to be the puzzle box that's going to get you started. So what do you do with the puzzle box? What's on the front of a puzzle box?
Picture.
The picture, right? You know the destination that you're going to go through, and within that picture is going to be pieces to get you to the final product, which is called your exit strategy or your monetization strategy, right? So as we talk about these things, right, we want to take you from A to Z on real estate investing. So Otis, can you put the 4 data points and just go over them one more time? And then I'm going to break down some of the things that's going to be complementary to the 4 data points.
Yeah, so it's what does it cost, or if it's for sale, or what am I willing to pay if it's not for sale? What's it going to cost me to fix up? What's it going to be worth when I'm done? How much rental income will it generate? Period. That's it. That's the 4.
So again, so what does it cost? That's administrative stuff, right? So this very simple things, okay? All right. How am I going to know what is the very first thing that I'm going to do is very simple. How much are they asking for the property? And then what is the rent that it can generate? Now, I want you guys to put a number 1 commercial and then put a number 2 residential. Okay. And then we're going to break this down. Okay. And show you guys the fundamental difference between the two. Okay. So on the first hand, now that's going to be in the back against the fence line, along the fence line. Can you take them back there? How you doing? The fence line. It's along the back fence line. If you go straight back, it's along that back fence line. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So when you guys are looking at when you're looking at, I got gophers in the backyard and I got to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? So I got the OGs that just came here to make sure we can get those gophers out of my yard, man. Cause I got to have that green. I'm from the South, man. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys like grass. I don't know about y'all, but I like grass at my house. Right. So
I'm laughing at you giving people directions in your backyard, because you want to go around the gate, then you want to pass the basketball court, pickleball, and then you want to pass the outdoor kitchen. Don't pay attention to the pool. You want to go towards the orchards. Yeah, you'll get there. Go to the retaining wall. You're going to pass the retaining wall, go towards the orchard, all the backyard. So you be real, just the fence line. Just follow the fence line so you don't get lost in this. Go ahead, man. Sorry. We're back.
So Otis and I, man, we're friends, and he's always. When are you pulling up again?
Shoot, man, I may pull up this weekend. I don't know.
Hey, let me know, man. So I have not opened up now. See, let me tell you what type of friends I got. So there I was, drinking my Boone's Farm, and then Otis shows up with $1,000 bottle of scotch. I haven't even opened it, man. You know how, it's kind of like that couch that you get with the plastic on it. You don't want to open it, right? And you hide it. You put all of the inexpensive alcohol out when your friends come over. That's what kind of friends I got, man. But guys, listen, man, I'm super excited about having you guys on here, guys. This is just a conversation that we're going to have. And then, we're going to work everything out for you guys to where you understand how important it is. Now, Otis, I have a question for you. What is the fundamental difference between residential and commercial real estate? How is it evaluated on value?
Residential, 1 to 4 units, by the way. So that's a single family, and then duplex, triplex, or fourplex, which is multifamily residential, not multifamily commercial. 1 to 4 units is valued based on what similar properties are selling for. Multifamily commercial, 5 units and above, those assets are valued based on the income that they generate, primarily the net operating income. So based on their financial performance, that's how they're valued.
So everybody put NOI in the chat, because I think when we're going over these acronyms, we want to make sure that you guys are understanding what we're doing. And then as we go through these steps, guys, we're going to make sure that we're not trying to insult anyone's intelligence, by the way. We're just having a conversation. So when I was investing in real estate, the part that I had a hard time understanding was the terminology, right? Not understanding the terminology and the math, right? Once you figure that out and you understand it, it's pretty easy, right? So let's go through a scenario, Otis. Do you want to do a quick, Ian, are you available to do a quick underwriting scenario for a multifamily?
Yeah, let's run it.
Okay, so put a 1 in the chat if you guys want us to give you guys an example of how quick me, Otis, and Ian, or I said that wrong. Otis, Ian, and I, okay, are going to go through a scenario with you guys so you guys could understand how easy it is to back in what type of offers that you should be doing, okay? So let's run it, Otis. So what are some of the things that I need to have, Otis? Let's just run down a quick off the top of the dome, multifamily. Okay, everybody put $1 million in the chat. We're going to do a $1 million property. That's the asking price that they're asking for the property. 1 million. Okay, that's the asking price for the multifamily. And let's just say this multifamily is a 20-plex. Okay, we're gonna make these numbers real nice and small. Okay, so and then Otis, myself, Otis, and Ian, we're gonna walk you guys through how easy it is to figure out if this is a good buy or not. Okay. So on the multifamily, 20-plex is getting 12. Let's see. Let's make it a hard number. Let's go 13,500 of gross income
a month.
Yep. Now, okay. That's now we don't know. Now we're gonna do a subjective net income. So Otis, I'm gonna start with you, and then we'll pass it to Ian, and Ian's gonna do the math. I'm gonna yield the mic now, guys. Here's the deal, guys. If you guys want us to do this scenario, put a 1 in the chat, guys, because we're not just gonna be rocking out, and you guys are getting all of these notes, and you're gonna become a millionaire, and you guys are not helping us out. So right now, if you're on TikTok, do me a favor, and you're going to get us up to 5 shares right now, okay, and get us up to 1,000 likes, because this is what's we got to get more people into the space, and then I won't have to share our screen. Okay, so as we're doing that, guys, make sure that you guys are hitting that screen if you're on TikTok and getting the shares up right now. Thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you for the share, the Simple Kitchen. I appreciate you. We need 3 more shares, guys, before we rock out. So, Otis, can you go ahead and start talking? And then we're not going to do the entire thing until you guys get us up to at least 5 shares. Because right now we got 113 people across all social media platforms. So, guys, in order for us to learn from us, we're going to need for you guys to help us out, okay? 1 million. No, let's go 1 million. Let's go a 10-plex. 10-plex. You can't get a 20-plex for $1 million, by the way. That's not in the hood. You can't get those. You can't get a 20-plex for $1 million, Dooley. The places that the reason why I did it that way, the 20-plex is to make it a nice round number. But no, let's do it as a 20-plex. We're gonna stick with a 20-plex, okay? If you want to learn, man, just come up. If you want to add some value to us, but this is just a scenario. Okay, go ahead, rock out. What are some of the first things that I need to get, Otis?
Well, first, I need to determine what my investment criteria is for this 20-unit building. I'm a value-add investor. I buy stuff, make it worth more than I bought it for. Or is this just going to be a long-term hold? Am I going to take some capital, park it there, and generate long-term revenue, right? So I have to find that out first. But the first thing that I'm going to look at two things. I'm going to look at the current rental income that it's getting, and then I'm going to look at GPR, what we call gross potential rent, okay? Because there's something that I have to understand. Remember, we talk about the 4 data points. What is the cost? What is the cost to fix up? What's going to be worth when I'm done? How much income can it generate? I need to know what it's worth so I know how much I can negotiate buying it for. I need to know what its potential is so I know what my profit margin is. So those are the first things that I'm going to look at. What does it cost? And we just do a formula, right, to calculate the net operating income. I'm looking at in-place rents and potential rents. Those are going to be 2 different values. So I can keep going because that's the first thing that, and I'm talking about on a napkin. I'm not even in negotiating. I'm just scrolling and I see it online. Okay, I see, okay, this is the current rents. Okay, they got the property taxes listed. Okay, they got the current insurance listed. They've got, okay, so common area utilities listed. And I'm just writing all this stuff down on a napkin. Okay? Once I get that information, I can determine, okay, this is what I'm going to put in my offer for. Then I'm going to see what are the potential rents, twofold. What are the potential rents and how much money do I have to put into the property so I can command those rents? Data point number 2, what does it cost me to fix it up? So you're looking at a bunch of different things before you even put in an offer, right? And by the way, folks, I was in the multifamily commercial industry. I was overseeing $650 million in commercial assets, 3,000 units. So this is something that was my corporate job in addition to being an investor. So when I'm throwing these numbers out, I was doing budgets for these properties that were $55 million a year, accounting for every expense, all the income. Okay? So I don't want to go too far, Anthony, but basically that's what I'm looking at. The current state of rental income and look at the potential rental income and what's it going to cost for me to get there. That's the first thing I'm looking at.
Bingo. So let's go. So let's go step by step. Okay. So first step is I want to back into this and see what I want to get for. I want to see what type of offer I should be getting for a 5 cap. So I'm going to back into this. So everybody right now put capitalization rate in the chat. Cap rate. Okay. We're just going to give you the foundation. This is just an example. Every single person right now put cap rate in the chat. So I want to see my magic number. So backing into this, I want to see what type of offer I need to make I want a cap rate of 5. Okay, so Ian, over to you. You're next. Go ahead, jump in. What do I need? Ian, we can't hear you.
Okay, so just a fact check on this one. The 13,000. The 13,000. Can you not hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Stand by.
We can hear you, bro. Ian, we can't hear you, bro. Okay.
You can't hear me right now?
I can hear you now. Go ahead, jump in.
Okay. So, all right, the 13,500. That's the net rent month, or is that?
Hey, turn your Wi-Fi off. Turn your Wi-Fi off. Sorry about that, guys. So Ian is here, but he's in a Eric. Turn your Wi-Fi off. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
I did. I'm on the data. I'm outside on the porch. Okay, so 13,000 is that your net rent or your gross rent?
Maybe turn your Wi-Fi on, dog, because we can't. You're breaking up.
I was about to say, I know he ain't getting no reception. You know he live near them wineries. You know, Anthony, there ain't no reception out there near them wineries.
I'm trying to give Ian some love, man. Ian, you got to get your Wi-Fi sorted out, man. So we were hearing you loud and clear, but now you're all breaking up. Okay, so here's a strategy. Okay, so $1 million is the what they're asking for the property. 13,500 is the gross rent. Let's just say the net rent is half of that. So let's go with that. Okay, so So now that you have those numbers, we're going to back into trying to get a 5 cap on this property. So we need the gross rent. That's all of the rent that's coming in. We already got that number, $13,500. The net rent is going to be half of that. So we're going to divide that by 2. What do I need to do next, Otis?
So when you're looking at, when I'm looking at cap rates, well, let me clarify something first. So the cap rate that I need to buy at is different from the cap rate that I'm going to be running at. And for the people that don't understand what cap rates are, cap rate is the net operating income divided by the purchase price times 100. Okay, so our net operating income is 81,000, and what's our purchase price? $1 million.
Yep.
Divided by $1 million. That's an 8% cap rate. All right. Once I do that math. So if we're looking for 5, look, we just exceeded that. That's 8%. Also understand though, cap rates can be manipulated. Why? Because net operating income can be manipulated. How? Deferred maintenance. That's how net operating income can be manipulated. It also doesn't take into consideration the debt. So if Anthony and I are looking at the same apartment building and we're using NOI and cap rate, if he has an 800 credit score and I got a 680 credit score or a 620 credit score, he's going to get more favorable terms. So even though the cap rate and NOI is the same for both of us, the cost of owning the property is going to be higher for me, and it's going to come out in the cash flow at the end. Right. So when Anthony's talking about NOI and cap rates and all of these things, as real estate investors, there's a lot that we have to look at. It's not just 1 or 2 things that we look at. We look at the entire puzzle, as he was alluding to before with his initial illustration when it came to investing. So that's what it is. So keep it in perspective. So cap rate is NOI divided by the purchase price times 100. If we're looking for 5%, in this example, we've exceeded it. We're at 8%, just over 8% for this cap rate.
And right now in today's market, a lot of people ask me this question: what is a good capitalization rate? And when we start doing math, man, people start looking crazy. Listen, you don't have to do it by yourself, guys. This is the whole reason why we exist, right? People charge thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to tell you the math that we just did. Okay. You can back your way into the offer just by utilizing these steps and strategies to know a basic information. And just so you know, what we did is, okay, we know what the gross rent or the gross potential rent is. We divided it by half to account for. Now, this is just if we don't have all of the information. Somebody sent us a property, we kind of get an idea of what it is. But then when we do our due diligence, right, we're going to be looking at more extensive information to see if it makes sense for us to get the property, right? But in a nutshell, okay, this property looks like it's a good buy just because it's an A cap. Now, once we start digging into stuff, we're going to be able to see, okay, let's look at the expense reports. Let's look at the maintenance schedule. Let's start looking at the last insurance. What type of claims do you have on the apartment? Because I'm gonna tell you what's killing people right now with investing. Okay, and it's not the interest rate. The interest rate's affecting properties right now when people are trying to invest in real estate. But insurance is killing people. Insurance is killing deals right now. Now, did you want to touch on that, Otis?
Yeah. So remember, it's the value of the building is the net operating income divided by what the current cap rate is in the building, right? Now, what impacts your net operating income? Insurance premiums. So even in all conditions normal and rent stabilize, if your expenses go up, a lot of time people think it's just rents. Well, increase your rents, lower your rents, or whatever. If your expenses go up, your net operating income goes down. So when we look at the formula, the value of the building has gone down because it's net operating income divided by cap rates. So when you guys are out there talking about rents are too high, landlords are greedy, well, you need to talk to the city, the insurance companies, tell the government to regulate the insurance, right? And that's not just regular. We got flood insurance, we've got regular hazard insurance, there's all types of insurance, and it's the wild wild west for insurance companies. My whole portfolio insurance has increased by at least 50%.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a thorn in my side, man. That makes me angry because we have to pass those costs on. Otherwise, what happens? Then it impacts the value of the building. It impacts our net operating income. So
And I'm
And that's
glad
not
that you said that because this is kind of like an example, guys, of when you guys are investing and you're going out here and looking at properties and you're on TikTok looking at people stand in front of a 3 Series BMW with a Hermes belt on, with no inventory. These are the types of conversations that we like to have. So put a 1 in the chat if you guys are enjoying the conversation. Let me do a quick room reset. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Morning Win in Real Estate Show. Shout out to everybody that's on the live today. If you guys are enjoying the conversation, make sure you show us some love on TikTok and all of the social media platforms. Today, we just gave you guys an example of how to quickly underwrite a property. This is just quick off a napkin to see how we can back into investing in a piece of real estate. What is the property cost? Okay, how much revenue is it generate? We looked at the gross operating income. We figured out the cap rate, and we backed into what if this property was even good at looking at to see how much we want to purchase the property for. And right now we're going through the top 10 things that you need to do to become a real estate investor. For those of you that are on TikTok, get the shares up right now. We got 6 shares. Hit that bottom arrow down at the bottom and get the shares up. And for those of you that are on here taking notes, hit those thumbs, guys, because we're going to be offering an opportunity for you to either invest in the 4 data points. And then if you don't want to invest and you want to just get on and network with us and just come on the live, we're going to be doing these rooms every Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll be going nice and strong for around 2 hours, so we can give you guys some real estate strategies that you guys could do. So does anybody have any questions they would like to propose in the chat? Any questions? Any questions so far? So number 1 is admin, okay? That's the most important thing, making sure that you get your plan together and educating yourself. That costs absolutely no money to get online and look up some stuff. And then also investing in some information. Now, this is why this is critical and the reason why I say that, okay? For those of you that are getting out there getting free information, they're not going to give you everything, right? Because, the expertise means that they've gone through the process and they've learned how to do things. And the best thing that I've done so far in my entire real estate career is invested in information. Hands down. Gone to classes that's going to help me be a more effective investor. I started in residential real estate. I got into commercial real estate. I have had a commercial retail. I have commercial rental properties right now that I have in my inventory, but I would not have been able to do it if I didn't invest in myself to get the information so I wouldn't mess it up. And that's one of the main things, one of the main roadblocks to investing is getting the information. So if that's you and you guys want the information, we have a Facebook group that's for free that you guys can get into and network with us and get into 4 Data Points Academy, and then also learn some information to where you can at least get started on your journey. Because here's the deal, guys. The other day I was telling y'all you're going to run out of money if you're not careful. Now, Otis, can you speak on that? Like, what do you think about rental and arbitrage? Let's talk about that before we go into number 2, 3, and 4. So let me go through this real quick before I ask Otis this question. Number 1 is going to be educate yourself. Number 2 is going to set a deadline and a clear goal. Okay, define your investment opportunity and then make a timeline backing into it. Okay, and then number 3 is build a financial plan. Number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now, Otis, what value do you have to add to those 4, the first 3 steps? Educating yourself, set a goal, and then building a financial plan.
Well, I think educating yourself is I think is probably the most important and should be done first, because you can't come up with a plan if you don't know what you're doing. You're coming up with a plan based on information that you don't have yet. And I'll give you an example. If we're talking about a multifamily apartment building here, and this is an illustration of where expertise versus information plays a role in the decision-making process. I had one of my students that it was a value add. Value add means you're going to go in, make improvements, make it worth more than you bought it for, and then leverage that new value. And they looked at what needed to be done to the units. There was a few units that needed some improvements. So they had a dollar amount. They did what they were supposed to do. They got estimate. They got a dollar amount, and it was about $60,000. It wasn't a whole lot for these few units to get them to where they all needed to be. Mm-hmm. And then we ran the numbers based on those improvements and the projected income we could get for those units. And then I told them to hold on. Now, how about we spend 20% on these units, just give them a facelift, and we add some vending machines. Vending machines will generate about $400 a month. They'll cost, you can get a used one for $800, $400 a month, get two of them. That's 800 times. So that's $9,600 in operating income that goes towards your value calculation. Now, fast forward, they profited more from adding those vending machines than they would have by putting all the money into getting these apartments perfect. Let's just get them good enough and add a couple different revenue streams. So that's where the experience comes in, because you're looking at everything at the same time and you're determining the best path forward. These folks would have been out $40,000 that they didn't have to be to achieve the same financial outcome as adding two vending machines. Now, there's a lot of things that you can add. I'm not going to go down that road until you want me to, Anthony, but the value add and the revenue streams associated with multifamily commercial is also what makes it attractive. Go ahead, Rob.
And I'm glad that you said that, because okay, so let's just rattle off a couple of them, right? So you just said the vending machine. What about extra parking, right?
Parking,
Premium parking,
carport,
after action, yeah, after hours gym access. There's so many other things that you guys could do to add value to that. And then on top of that, you know, your vacancy loss is going to be a lot less than it would be for a single family home. Let me explain that real quick, and then I'll pass it back to Otis, guys, and we'll do a quick room reset. So as we're talking about these things, right, let's just say that I had a 20plex for the $1 million that we bought, right? And I wanted to increase the rent for $100. 100 times 20 is what?
2,000.
$2,000 times 12 is what?
24,000.
I just increased my revenue by increasing the rent $100 on each individual unit, right? So when you're looking at this, and then for vacancy loss, let's just say that I have to evict one client, right? I still have 19 other units that are generating revenue. So that's the fundamental piece of scaling a business, because a $24,000 increase in revenue, that's additional revenue that you can invest in other, units. So when you have single family homes, now remember, I started in a single family home scenario. Okay. So what's up, the homeboy? I see the home on here. Good to see you, brother. So one of the biggest things when we talk about the real estate investing is that the opportunity to scale. And then you can leverage, if you have a lot of single family homes, I'm telling y'all, man, with dealing with evicting people and going through that process, and I just spent $24,000 on a single family home with a client that I had to evict. Now, did I have the revenue to? Is it a tax write-off? Absolutely. But that situation might be a deal breaker for somebody who is running a tight budget.
And the opportunity cost for you. The opportunity cost of deploying $24,000. First of all, opportunity cost, folks, for those that's the opportunity that you forego in order to do your subject opportunity, right? For Anthony as an investor, what could he accomplish with that $24,000 had he not put it into that property? A lot, right? He could probably turn it to $200,000 if you flip it enough times. Mm-hmm. So for him, the impact is going to be a little bit different. So keep that in mind. And yeah, we get the write-offs and all these other things. But again, you have to determine, is this the best way forward for deploying this capital? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And it's the education that allows you to recognize whether it is or it isn't in that particular circumstance. So go ahead, Anna. I want to just add that little 2 cents in there for you.
Absolutely. So guys, if you're enjoying the show, put a 1 in the chat, man, because it's quiet on TikTok today, man. What's going on? I know this information that we kicking, man. It's like, dang. But you know what, though? The people that are on here right now, I appreciate you guys for pulling up. And I want to ask a question for you guys. So right now we have some people that is on Facebook Live. We have some people on Twitter. We have some people on LinkedIn and Instagram. Where are you guys checking in from? We want to see where you guys are checking in from. Put rep your city in the chat as we're doing the reset. Guys, if you guys want to get a link to the information that we're talking about, okay, in our Facebook group, Win in Real Estate, you guys can go in there and download the 4 Data Points Academy, and then also connect with myself and Otis and Ian and any other investor. Right now, we have 4,000 people in that group. So I want to give a special shout out for everybody who pulled up and shared that support for us. We really appreciate you guys growing that group. And yeah, man, I'm super excited. I will be, let me tell you what we got going on. On the 7th, we have the Veteran Wealth Formula that I'll be doing on virtual, okay, for military spouses. I'm going to be teaching how to start a business from scratch, give you guys the codes that you need, give everything that you need to know. That's going to be on the 7th of next month. That's called the Veteran Wealth Formula. I'll be teaching it. Okay, and I'm going to go from A to Z on how to invest in real estate and partner with a veteran with the VA loan. Okay, I'm also going to be in North Carolina from the 26th through the 29th. Okay, I'm going to be going to North Carolina talking to 1,500 investors. Oh, we might have to hop on a phone call for that one. Even though it's Jacksonville, but we might have to, go, check out some investment properties out there. Okay. And then also we're going to be in Atlanta for a promotion ceremony, and that's going to be from the 1st through the 7th. No, actually from the 1st through the 6th. I'll be out in Atlanta. No, 5th. 1st through the 5th, I'll be in Atlanta. So we got a lot of things coming up, guys. So if you guys want to pull up on us and say what's up, okay, I'm going to be checking out some property out there. I do have property in New Bern, North Carolina, so I'll be going to check out a single family home and a duplex that I own out there. So if you guys want to see me walk through those properties, I'll be on live walking through those properties. So make sure you give Otis a follow, myself a follow, Ian a follow. And then guys, if you want to get information on upcoming events that we have, here's the number that you have to text. Are you ready? 760-573. 2731. Okay, let me tell you that number again. 760. This is not my personal number. Okay, 573. I have to say it this way because on certain social media platforms, okay, they won't allow me to speak. 2731. You're going to text that number, and then also we'll text you the link to get in the Facebook group. And then also you'll see pinned at the top, you'll see the 4 data points by Otis. So let's get back to it. We got a question in the chat, Otis. My dad was a veteran. He recently passed. Can I benefit from his veteran status to buy a property? First and foremost, I want to send my condolences to you and your father. Okay. Simple Kitchen, do you want to come up? Because I want to invite you to speak because you're the first question. And when you ask questions, we pour into you. So I'm going to invite you up, and then I'm going to tell you how you can do that. Yes and no. Okay. So there is a way to do it, to utilize his VA entitlement, but you can't do it. But if mom was there, mom can do it if she's married to the husband, not the ex-wife. But yeah, that's why we want you to come on live. She's talking about she at the beach. We want you to come on live and show us the beach. Okay. But the answer is only surviving spouses can utilize the VA entitlement, unfortunately, right? So if mom and dad was married and dad, see, look, I got a violation warning. Your live is flagged for personal information. Repeated violation can result in your live being disconnected. Bro, like, I don't know why they do that, man. Let me see. I understand the decision, but the restriction is too strict. TikTok should allow. My live does not contain information mentioned in the thing. Hopefully they don't shut it down, because usually when I get that notice following that, they'll shut me down. But that's a way so I can text the people that are on the live the content that we got. So for you, okay, you can do that, but it has to be your mom, and she has to be married to your dad in order to utilize the benefit. However, there are ways to buy property without utilizing your dad's VA entitlement and with no money down. Otis, can you tell them the first way?
I cannot. I was hoping you wouldn't call on me right there, because I'm not a VA loan
No. She doesn't. I'm talking about with no money down. Like, how can she acquire a property as a non-vet?
Oh, okay. Well,
Otis got ADHD, y'all. Man, he's like,
I was like,
I cannot tell you to make Oreo cookies. I am green-handed and Sam. I am. Dog, come on.
As an investor, the way I buy a property with no money down is I take ownership of it before I have to pay for it. So, and this is just one of the investment strategies. Now, don't build a business model around this because you'll starve to death. But as investors, we got to move forward even when our capital is deployed elsewhere. We don't have it readily available. So, give you a quick illustration. So let's say you can buy $100,000 house that's worth 150,000, right? Because investors, we got to buy it at a discount. We get it at a discount because we buy problems for a living, right? So home is worth 150. We get it for 100. We have the property deeded over to us. Now we own this home, but we still are obligated to the seller because we haven't paid yet. So I would take that $100,000, put it in the form of debt. There's just some minor documentation that you can utilize. Attach it to the property. So when the new lender looks at it, they're going to say, okay, Otis owns this house. Okay, looks like he owes $100,000 on it. House is worth 150. We're going to give him a cash out refinance for 80%. So now I own this house. I still owe the seller. I haven't paid the seller yet. But let's see what 80% of 150 is times 0.80. So they'll give me a mortgage for 120,000. So now it's just a cash out refinance. That 120,000 pays off the existing debt of 100,000. Who do you think that 100,000 goes to? They just send a check to the seller. And now I have a mortgage of 120,000. I still got 20% equity in the property. And now I just need to make sure that any rental income that's generated is enough to service that debt. So what that is paying out of your exit strategy as an investor. Now, I manage people's expectations. This isn't a situation you can do on a property that you want to move into. I mean, you should move into it right away. I'll say that. If things happen 30 days later, life happens, and you're forced to move into it, look, that's on them, right? But paying out of your exit strategy is just one of the tools that we use to acquire real estate. And it doesn't matter if it's a $2,000 house or a $200 million apartment development. Same principle applies. And the down payment is not required. It's no longer a hindrance. Now, again, manage expectations. There's other stuff you got to pay for, right? But as far as down payment and initial upfront capital commitment, we can reduce it when all conditions are in alignment.
And guys, if you guys are enjoying the conversation, put a 1 in the chat because, guys, listen, the show right here, man, our overall goal is to teach you guys how to win in real estate. There's so much information out there and we're breaking it down shotgun style on how you guys should do this. So make sure you guys give us a follow. Okay. And the Simple Kitchen hopefully was able to answer your question. And guys, we're teaching you guys how to invest in real estate. So this is an opportunity for you to answer your question. And then I pinned the number in the chat if you guys want the free to download the free 4 data points. And then also we're walking you guys through the 10 essential steps to starting a property. Let me recap. Number 1 is going to be start with your plan. Okay. That's going to be the first thing. All right. Number 2 is going to be, oh man, I messed up my damn structure. Number 2 is going to be making sure that you analyze your financial picture. Okay. And then number 3 is going to be picking a market that you're going to look to invest in. These are the first 3 steps out of the 10 steps. Now, the reason why you want to go step by step is because number 1, the plan is going to establish a goal, right? You're going to know where you want to invest in, why you're going to pick that area, what location you're going to pick, what is going to be the anchor in that community that's going to draw revenue. Okay. All of these things matter because it is statistically proven that when you write something down, you're going to accomplish it. That's going to create your target. All right. So let me see. My friend of mine got 2 million and only want to bid tax deed in Michigan. Okay, MoPro, just shoot me a DM or text that number that I put in the chat, 760-573-2731. That's the number. And then, tax deed investing in Michigan.
Let me touch on that when you get a second.
Go ahead. You saw how you already know. Go ahead.
So tax deeds and first of all, even if you get a house for free, doesn't mean it's a good deal. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you don't know what you're doing on the tax deed side, you're just throwing money away. So the issue with tax deeds for new folks that don't have $2 million, for new folks, I see them running in there buying these tax deed situations. Somebody I just talked to yesterday bought a house, $2,500, right? 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, $2,500. They were super excited. So I said, all right, now let's look at the house and run the 4 data points. What does it cost? What cost you $2,500? Were you excited? What does it cost to fix up? $80,000 to fix it up. What's it going to be worth when you're done? $60,000, because all of the homes on that street are in such bad shape that, remember, 1 to 4 units are valued based on what similar properties are selling for, and none of the other ones were selling. How much income can it generate? Well, you can use Section 8 as your bottom, if you, but understand how to be a landlord first. That environment, that's training. So they were talking about Section 8, but the problem was they can't get financing on it to improve it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be all cash, everything up to that point. And then you have to look at the opportunity cost of deploying that cash and leaving it sink into that one project. So it's useless. I had somebody give me when I ran the 4 data points on a property that I was looking at, actually in Michigan, in Detroit. After I ran the numbers, I'll just skip to the end. They would have had to pay me $13,000 to take the property. So it wasn't a matter of how cheap can I get it. They would have had to pay me to take it because it was in such bad shape, as a lot of these tax deed properties are, and some of these other discounted, properties are. It was in such bad shape that as soon as I would have took ownership, I'm responsible for the delinquent tax situation that was going on, the code enforcement violations. I had to maintain the property. Ultimately, I would have just had to demo it, which would have been $16,000 for that particular property, and it would just been problem after problem after problem. So if you're not seasoned as a real estate investor, you're jumping at all of the attractive bait. Oh, I can teach you how to get a house for $500. That's the easy part. I can teach you how to get a house for zero. Doesn't mean that it's going to be cost effective. Doesn't mean that it's not going to cost you anything in perpetuity. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to get financing for it. Doesn't mean it's a good investment. Doesn't mean. If you understand the 4 data points, it's just the answer to 4 questions. Then you're ahead of 95% of the people getting into this game. And you'll see when you're evaluating whether it's a tax deed or whatever it is, that it's not going to be a fruitful investment for you.
And
Hey, Otis, is that a situation where if you, oh, sorry if I'm getting feedback on you, Tony. Is that a situation where if you were to buy it and lost money and they had to pay you, is that where you would kind of negotiate with the city to get like a tax deferment for your property taxes
You
to make it worthwhile?
you can negotiate with the city. Typically, the tax burden is on the previous person, but depending on how you get the property, they can add that to it for the new person as a condition of purchase. A lot of cities have these incentives like, hey, you can buy a house. We'll sell you a house for $1. I know Baltimore had something similar. There's always a catch.
yes,
Right? There's always a catch. And if companies like Vanguard and BlackRock
are not buying the property.
yeah, why are they not just swooping it in and just buying up everything at a discount?
And
Well,
then now you got people giving you these properties, and then you're paying money to get these properties, and now you're in a situation to where you don't have enough revenue, and the property's not worth it. So you're basically you invested your money into a sinkhole. And we see this stuff all the time, guys. And this is the type of stuff that the reason why we're doing these things, guys, is because we want you to do it the right way, not the fast way. That's the fundamental difference of why we're doing this stuff on here, because there's so many nuances to investing in real estate. You can get in a lot of big trouble with doing this stuff. So we get on here. Well, listen, God, if I got to tell you, if I have to encourage you to get out of financial debt and invest in real estate, I don't want to coach you.
Me either.
I'm just telling you, look, I'm being honest with you. Okay. If I got to motivate you to get out of debt, I want meat eaters and gunslingers because I don't want people. This is something that I learned a long time ago. I didn't get to where I am with hesitating. Okay? I got to where I am because I committed myself to going through a journey, and I didn't see my way through it. But sometimes the reason why you can't see, you'll get how many, put a 1 in the chat if you've been in a situation to where you had an idea, you knew what the final product was supposed to look like, but you couldn't see how to get there. Do you know why it's like that? You know why it's like that? Because it's experienced through the process. That's why. Okay? So you have people that's on the live right now that have went through the process, so you don't have to make those mistakes. If I want to go to the store and get groceries, I know where the grocery store is, and I might face a couple of roadblocks, but if I'm hungry, I'm going to get to the grocery store, no matter how long it's going to take me to get there. And a lot of people want to become real estate investors. You got the seed in your pocket and you want to plant the damn thing. Guys, listen to me. Get in the damn Facebook group. Okay. I just had a guy make $200,000, $205,000. Okay. By investing in real estate 3 years ago. and I had to drag his ass to get the property. He's selling it, okay, and he made $205,000. Okay, y'all want me to prove it? I'll pull it up right now. Okay, I'll give you the address. Okay, 2881 Todd Street. I'm putting y'all on notice right now. I told him to invest in this piece of real estate. We negotiated a super dope deal. He utilized his VA home loan benefit. He bought the property a couple of years ago. Okay, and then he sold it for $1,075,000 and made $205,000. So now he's on his investment journey. 2881 Todd Street in Oceanside, California. I'm giving you guys the address. Look it up. Look who sold him that property and look who bought the property. I sold him that investment property. He bought the property. He lived in it for a little while, and then he's selling the property. He just closed on the property 2 days ago, and he made $205,000. Okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys wouldn't have won. I mean, how would if I wrote you a check for $205,000, would you go to the Facebook group or text the number so you guys could get on your investment journey? Okay. $205,000, 2881 Todd Street. Look it up. I'm gonna put the address in the chat. 2881 Todd. Ian, as a matter of fact, I want you to do me a favor. Ian, can you look that property up for me and tell me what he bought that property for and what he sold it for? Can you do that for me?
Yeah, I remember. Didn't we sell it for $720? But I'll check for you.
Tell you, man, it's not just what to do. When I'm coaching people, sometimes it's how to think. Like, it's perspective is just as important. Investing in real estate for revenue streams isn't just the mechanics of, investing in real estate, buying and selling or long-term holds or whatever it is. There's a group that I put together of people that want to invest with each other. Mm-hmm. So I taught them how to invest with each other. I gave them a guide and everything. They paid me for that. They paid me to do that. That had nothing to do with the physical aspect of me investing in real estate but once you have the knowledge, now there's all types of revenue streams, right? And once you get good at it, start teaching it. That's why I tell my kids, find something you're good at and then start teaching it to folks. Managing, buying and selling notes on the secondary money market. And Ian, let me know when you got it. Buying and selling notes, buying and selling debt. Right? There's some peripheral businesses that you can align in real estate investing. I had a business that was non-real estate related, but because I had relationships in the real estate industry, I used that business to service that industry, and that business went on to generate 7 figures. It cost me $585 to start that business. And I just outsourced everything. I found people that were already doing it because I had the knowledge to be able to put those things together. So it's not, even if you want to buy I'm tripping, man. I hit the mic on my phone and it's.
He bought it for $780.
Yes, he bought that property for $780. Okay, so let's look at this, guys. He bought it from $780, and what did it sell for? When did it close, Ian? Tell me the information.
You said what? It sold for one. What'd you end up? I don't have the contract in front of me. What it sold
Just
for?
Look it up online.
Say again?
Look it up online.
It's listed right. We had it listed at $1,050,000. Okay,
so after payout and everything else, he made $205,000. Okay, I'm gonna try to ping him in and get him on Chatter. Okay, so I mean get him on. I said get him on Chatter. So guys, listen, man, if you guys want to do that, right? Yeah, you could see it, the homie. So you will see that, guys, he bought that property for $750,000. What year did address? What year? 2881 Todd Street. Okay, so I'm gonna try to ping him in. So guys, this could be you, man. Like, I don't know how long. Look, some of y'all, it will take 5-6 years to make that type of money, lump sum. Okay, so what we're trying to tell you guys, you don't necessarily have to buy an investment. You don't have to buy a multifamily. You just need to get something that cash flows and get it in an area that matches scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand. Is it rare? Is it in a good location? Okay, is it an anchor there? Can I live in it? Okay, you can live in the property and then maybe get a duplex and rent the other unit out. Create your limited liability company, have tenants move in the other side, create your limited liability company, have your tenants pay the LLC, and then get a business line of credit to start your investment journey. So there's 1,000,001 ways to invest in real estate. And Otis just showed you guys that you can acquire real estate without having to have money. Okay. I don't know about y'all, man, but if I got a check for $200,000, I'll be going to the hole. I'll be so dude, I cannot tell you how he's blowing my phone up. He's like, dude, I don't even know what to do with the money. I said, shoot, give me some of it. Because I had to drag your ass to buy the property. He was scared, right? But I'm going to tell you something, man. Listen, fear will keep you broke. Fear will keep you broke. Okay. All right. So listen, man, when we're looking at these scenarios and stuff like that, I'm trying to give y'all the game to where you guys could actually say, you know what? I'm committed to change. I'm going to commit myself to investing in real estate, or not just that, man. Keep coming back until you feel comfortable enough with the stuff that we're teaching to where you guys could actually get out here and make some passive income. All right. So now, what is the fundamental difference between passive and active income? Let's talk about that.
Oh, it's a good point too, because you talked about forming a plan in the beginning. When I'm going over people's plans, the first question I ask is, how much money do you want to make? And one lady told me, she was like, I want to make $30,000 a month. I said, okay. And I gave this is going to illustrate the difference between passive and active. I said, okay, $30,000 a month. So let's say we have a $30,000 house in a neighborhood where they're selling for $100,000 and it needs $30,000 worth of work. Okay. So you buy it, fix it up. You're all in 60. You do a cash out refinance for for 80,000, right? 80% of the $100,000. You made 20,000 out of the cash out refinance and it generates about $300 a month net cash flow. Okay. Now look at that picture. She made $20,000 a month out of the cash out refinance, out of rehabbing it and doing the whole Burr method deal. And now she keeps the property and she's got $300 a month in perpetual income. The act of rehabbing that property and doing the cash out refinance is earned income. That $20,000 is earned. That $300 a month she gets from owning the property and the cash flow, that's passive. So I ask people, how many of those $300 a month is it going to take for you to add up to that $30,000? A lot, right? Not that you can't make $30,000, but if you want to do it passively, that's a much longer conversation than active. So understanding the difference between active and passive is important. All right, go ahead, Ant.
And the reason why I asked that question is because, and I wanted Otis to touch on that. And guys, if you guys are enjoying the show, put a 1 in the chat because we're going to keep rocking out. Let me do a quick room reset. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Win in Real Estate Show. Thank you guys for pulling up on Instagram, X, let's see, Facebook. Let's see what we got right here. We got people on X listening in. We got people on Facebook. We got people on Instagram. We have people on YouTube. And then we got people on LinkedIn. So we appreciate you guys for pulling up. Guys, listen, check this out. The number that you have to text, guys, we're going to put that number in the chat again. Hopefully I don't get shut down. 760-573-2731. Text the word WIN. We will give you the Facebook group so you can get in and start mixing and mingle with your peers, right? But at the end of the day, the ultimate thing that we want you guys to do is get comfortable with investing, okay? You have people that are here that will help you through the process. You don't have to do it alone. It's a fundamental difference between buying a property and investing in real estate, okay? Fundamental difference, okay? Investing is looking at what your exit strategy is, right? Buying a piece of real estate is looking from a consumer lens. When you're looking at it from a consumer lens, right? It's just different, right? We want you to get a property. We are not going to help you invest in a piece of property that we wouldn't buy ourselves. And I think that, and then this is what we get all the time. And I'm pretty sure you've gotten this, Otis. I remember many, many moons ago, I had a close friend of mine. His name is Gian Ensign. I don't know if you ever heard his name before. Okay. You ever heard of Gian Ensign? Okay. So, he came to me and he said, hey man, I got this property, man. I'm getting a great deal. I said, all right, bro, did you do your due diligence? And it was something that was a firecracker that he had. It could have also cost him a lot of money, but we were able to work collaboratively to get him out of that deal. Now, Gian Ensign, can you tell him about that deal that you were about to get, the golf course property?
Oh, okay, yeah, this one was a mess.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah. Okay, so this was a tax sale to bring it back full circle. So here I was thinking, I was like, oh, I'm going to look all around this area for tax sales. I was looking in a different area, but it brought me here. And I was like, wow, this place is on a golf course. I can get it for $2,500. All right. So I just like sent a check blindly. And then all of a sudden I didn't start doing my due diligence after I sent the check. So some of these things too, like this ain't like normal real estate. If you do tax sales, like once you say you're going to buy it and they agree and they take it, like it's yours. You know, there's no like due diligence period or anything like that. You're supposed to do that ahead of time. Well, anyway, I thought I was all super smart, wrote a check, thought I was going to get this like quarter-acre property on a golf course by the 9th green, you know, all this shit. And it turns out that it was in a golfing community, and in that golf community, it had had an HOA of $14,000 a year, and there was a buying fee.
Oh man, TikTok shut me down, y'all. So Ian, TikTok shut me down. So we're gonna continue to rock out, guys. So TikTok Live just shut down. They you know, that's the powers that be, man. I think TikTok might own some real estate, guys. So let me continue to rock out, guys. So Ian, you want to come in here? Yeah, Ian will come in here. He's actually here, so he can come in here and finish this story because I want you guys to hear it. So you know, so essentially, basically, what he you know, that story, man, it's kind of crazy because as we were navigating through that scenario, yeah, go ahead. You can rock out real quick on the mic. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Just come over here. Go ahead. You can speak in the mic. This is Ian, y'all.
Yeah. So yeah, over up here. Okay.
Yeah.
So the property had a $20,000 buying fee and a $20,000 selling fee, and a $14,000 yearly HOA fee for the community. So long story short, here I thought I was like stealing something, and it ended up being a massive problem. So we ended up calling a bunch of lawyers, calling Tony, calling everybody to figure out. And to be honest, by God's good graces, it was a technicality that got me out of this thing. So technically speaking, in this circumstance, you were supposed to register as a buyer and then send a check, and then that's how you are able to bid on these properties. And by good luck and grace of God, like my computer didn't load whenever I sent my request to be like a registered buyer. And because that technicality never solidified, I was technically just somebody who sent a check. So I was never a registered buyer, so therefore my check couldn't count as a purchaser of this property. But that could have been a massive problem. That could have like bit me in the ass for like easily probably 60 to 100 grand, depending on how deep I wanted to go on that, or how deep how long I held on to it too, because things weren't selling in that community either.
And this is the type of stuff that we teach. And I want to give a special shout out to Ian. Ian is having a baby. Okay, got baby on the way.
Wife is having a baby.
Ian's not having a baby, but his wife's having a baby. And I'm gonna be Uncle Tony, man. So put a heart emoji in the chat for that, because I'm more excited about the baby coming than he is. but when I see the other beauty of real estate is that I know that what we're teaching is setting up what we're doing right here. He has the information to set his family up for success. That little girl that's coming is going to be a real estate investor when she's born, because we're teaching how to leverage and do things in a collaborative way to make sure that everything is structured correctly in order for his family to win. And then that means that he's getting enough revenue from the investment properties to possibly fund the kids' college tuition. And guys, what we're going to do, since TikTok shut us down, I knew when I started giving numbers out, TikTok was going to shut us down. We're going to keep the room short today. So put a 1 in the chat if you guys enjoyed the show. The homeboy, I'll hit you up, because I am going to be going live on Chatter, because TikTok be tripping, man. They because anytime I get phone numbers, they flag me, right? So I'll be suspended for one day and I'll be back on tomorrow. And then maybe tomorrow we'll talk about how to put make your kids real estate investors. My kids currently have two properties apiece. They've been investing in real estate since they were born. Okay. My children manage their own accounts. And then I'm going to show you guys how everything works. And I'll show you guys real time tomorrow how your kids could actually own and operate real estate under 18 years old and possibly avoid student loan debt. So I appreciate you guys coming on the live. Again, that number is 760-573-2731. If you guys want to get in the Facebook group, text that link, text that phone number today. And then we'll send that link out to you guys so you guys can get in the Facebook group and then also get the notifications of when I'll be going on live and teaching about real estate, okay? All right, outstanding room today. We'll talk to you guys soon, and let's go. Have a great day.